Admit it, you just block your parents' voices out when they start talking about the old days, how cheap bread used to be, and how you could go to the movies and get a popcorn and Coke for just about nothing. But let's be honest, you've had that moment yourself when you walk out of a shop and think, wow, when exactly did coffee get so expensive? This is inflation in action. What is inflation? It's the ongoing rise in the prices of goods and services in an economy that eats away at your standard of living. It is one of the most important concepts in economics, but also one of the simplest to understand. If you go to a store today and buy a chocolate for R5.50 and you wait exactly a year and you go back to exactly the same store and buy exactly the same chocolate and it now costs you R5.61, then that 2% increase in the price of the chocolate is inflation. Inflation causes the rise in prices and causes the value of your money, known as your purchasing power, to decrease. Simply put, your money doesn't buy as much as it used to. In general, inflation is caused when the demand for goods and services outstrips the supply. When that happens, the seller is able to increase their prices. When the prices rise, so does inflation. Is all inflation bad? No. A small amount of inflation is usually seen as a good thing in an economy, as it keeps the economy growing and shows that buyers are confident to buy now and not wait for prices to fall before buying. In stable economies, prices usually go up steadily over time, but sometimes things get out of hand and one sees an excessive rise in inflation. Hyperinflation happens when a country is hit by extremely high and accelerated rates of inflation, which leads to a massive devaluing of a country's currency. Zimbabwe experienced this when inflation hit a high of 79.6 billion% in 2008. Zimbabwe abandoned the Zim dollar in 2009 and has been using the US dollar and other currencies since then. Every country has inflationary pressures, and most developed countries try to keep inflation at around 3%. The South African Reserve Bank's target rate of inflation ranges from 4 to 6%. This means cash in a savings account that does not earn at least 4 to 6% after tax and bank charges is worth less in real value. Remember, inflation will always reduce the value of your money. So, if your salary increase does not match or exceed the rate of inflation, you can expect your wallet to take a beating. The higher inflation gets, the less chance there is that you'll see any real return on your money in a savings account unless you're getting interest rates higher than inflation. It's important to educate yourself, shop around for the best rates possible, and grow your money through investments. So remember, inflation is simply the ongoing rise in the prices for goods and services. As inflation rises, every rand you own buys a smaller percentage of goods and services. If your salary increase does not match or exceed the rate of inflation, then inflation has killed your increase. Hyperinflation is when a country is hit by extremely high and accelerated rates of inflation, which leads to the devaluing of its currency.